So many lies that you hear from the net, they don't get her respect. She reporting the truth, not a check. You want an unbiased opinion straight from the chest, not a bit of accomplice or someone here for a check. Tune in, these are thoughts from a lawyer on a mission who goes so hard it's like she works on commission. Trolls in the comments might say she tripping cause they lack the knowledge, they don't know they missing. Got a couple current events that you like, wanna know about law from the eyes. Tired of all these blogs running lies because their agendas are disguised. Tune in to the intellect, cause I'm sure y'all missing all the facts of the case that she steady is gifting. Someone here for the people, man, it's so uplifting. If you ain't subscribed yet, then you just omitting facts.
And another thing you notice, the first thing they say, make sure you guys hit that like and the subscribe button. That's what it's all about. After they get them dogging you out, before they dog you out, that's the first thing they say. If you like this video, make sure you hit.
You have 1 minute remaining.
Hello, everyone. I hope you guys are having a fantabulous day. If you guys do not know me, my name is Pam Esquire, also known as the Law Intellect. But over here, we are the social media jurors. So I am the head foreman. Thank you guys so much for taking out the time in your midday. In a lot of places, it is lunchtime. And tuning in to the platform. What we do over here is we are the social media jurors. So what we do is we pull up cases, we analyze them, and we come to our conclusions and we follow cases. And we're not going to do anything different over here. If you have not subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe, like as you come in so that we can get into the algorithm. This is a newer channel. So for those of you that are finding me just haphazardly for some reason, I do have another page. The main page is Pam Esquire, the Law Intellect. And we go over documents and stuff over there. We do a variety of stuff on this platform. So it might end up being a Q&A over here. It might end up being streaming cases and hearings and all type of stuff happen over here. But thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for joining. I see all of you guys in the chat. Hello to Amy and Felicia. Alice, good to see you. Thank you so much for being the top mod over here on these YouTube streets. She hangs with me on my random lives. I might come in on noon. I might come on at 7. I might come on at 8. And the other day I came on at 11:30 at night and we stayed on till 2:30 in the morning. And Alice was there for all of it. So I want to say thank you, Alice, for being the top mod. We appreciate you. Felicia says she is from Detroit. So what up, though? You know, that's a Detroit thing. Shout out to the 313. Katina, good to see you. Earth Goddess, Vintage, Auntie D with the T. What's going on with you? Tawanya, Katina, Penny Proud, Stephanie, and Christine, and Jahando, and Peanut Said, and Lexi, the Nerd, CA 1983, Marnie, Cross Country Cruiser. Good to see each and every one of you guys. So today, it is on the agenda over here in court. The case is going to be James Wright Chanel versus Chrisean Rock. Now, I don't really cover Chrisean Rock at all. Chrisean is young enough to be my child, you know? And I watch some of the antics and all of that, and I just have chosen not to really discuss. But I did say that if there was a lawsuit filed, then I would be the first one to try to go get that, or one of the first ones, because, you know, I got it yesterday, but I didn't come on until today, so that we can go over the lawsuit. For those of you that do not know, I'm going to give a brief summary and then some of the videos that drop so you can catch up and know what I am talking about. James Wright Chanel is known for the patty pies. When Patti LaBelle came out with her sweet potato pies, James Wright Chanel went on there and did a whole commercial / I don't know what it was, but he was doing his reviews of her pies, and he was doing a bunch of singing, and it was hilarious. And because of that, James became a known face when it came to Patti LaBelle. Then there were a little, controversy on whether Patti LaBelle wanted to give James any type of props, that because of his video that they did, it helped her sales because they were flying off the shelf. And she was in denial for a while because she thought just because she was Patti LaBelle, I guess, that's the reason why people were buying it. And then she eventually came out, embraced James. James has sung backup for her, sang on the stage. James sings backup currently for Tamar Braxton. Many of you guys know Tamar. She is an R&B singer. Her sister is Toni Braxton. Well, all of this stems from James being a backup singer for Tamar Braxton. Well, apparently, as the legend goes, because it was back and forth, and that was one of the reasons why I said I wasn't going to file until talk about this until I seen some paperwork filed, was because there were rumors that Chrisean Rock, who is, I guess, a rapper in the younger generation, who came to Tamar's show. She was invited to the show, and she ended up mollywopping James Wright Chanel in the mouth. And it was just so many hearsays, and she said, we said, and they said, but we all found out about it. We first learned about it because Tamar's, I believe it was her road manager, this guy LaTroy. He did a Instagram live after the alleged assaults. And in this Instagram live, I'm going to play some of it. It's about 3 minutes I'm going to play. So keep that in mind because we're going to go back so we can make sure that we have a timeline on how we get to this lawsuit. So this is LaTroy, who was some type of something. He claimed he helped with putting this whole tour together, but he's in Tamar's camp. What his specific title is, I'm not sure, because it was someone else saying they were the road manager. So maybe he's the tour manager. Don't know his specific title, but he definitely was there. So he came out with this, and this is how we all knew that some altercation happened between Chrisean Rock and James Wright Chanel.
Mad at me can get mad at me. Y'all gotta stop. First of all, let me tell you about this ghetto, disgusting gutter butt. I don't even want to call her a girl. First of all, she's trash. She should have never been at my show. So she come to Tamar concert, which I planned, and I will say that, drunk with 1,000 people, smelling like weed, looking dumb, okay? And so she makes music. I didn't know that. You know what I'm saying? And apparently she wanted to drop a beat. So she was mad that she didn't get to perform. I didn't know she was a performer. And even if I did know she was a performer, she was not getting on the stage that everybody has worked their ass off to make. So she called, first of all, y'all see the video. She was up there, a drunk fool, okay? So now she cried and took your man upset because she didn't get to perform. So again, y'all saw her show her dumb ass during Love and War. She ruined the song. She ruined the concert. She ruined the moment. So then she go backstage and she is upset, okay? Because she didn't get to perform her ringtone. So she storms in Tamar's dressing room with 1,000 people, okay? And
sorry about that. I got a phone call. Hold up.
is not getting on the stage that everybody has worked their ass off to make. So she called, first of all, y'all see the video. She was up there, a drunk fool, okay? So now she cried and took your man upset because she didn't get to perform. So again, y'all saw her show her dumb ass during Love and War. She ruined the song. She ruined the concert. She ruined the moment. So then she go backstage and she is upset, okay? Because she didn't get to perform her ringtone. So she storms in Tamar's dressing room with 1,000 people, okay? And everybody's like, nobody knew you were supposed to perform a song. We didn't even know that you made music. We thought you was on Zeus. Right? So everybody's trying to calm her down. She's in there like a dungeon dragon, right? So then James is like, oh, it wasn't on purpose. Like, nobody tried to, like, shade you. We didn't know that you were supposed to sing. She, like, lie again. lie again. And James was like, no, nobody knew. And she hit James right in his face, chipped James' tooth. James' face is bloody. James is at the hospital right now because his nose will not stop bleeding. She's going to prison. And I promise you, and we can cancel all this shit right now. You don't come to nobody's show. Everybody has worked their behind off to make this tour amazing. You know what I'm saying? And we don't have a lot of help. So, you know what I'm saying? And we don't have a lot of help. So never will I ever let anyone get away coming to anything that anybody I know and care about plan and work hard for and assault them, and I'm letting it go. So I want everybody to let Chrisean know, whoever she is and whatever she does, I'm coming for every coin she has. And y'all know me, I'm not going to stop. I can't stop, won't stop Rockefeller Records. You do not come to my show and assault people that are working on my show. Okay? I might not have sang Love and War, but I'm the only reason everybody heard it tonight. And
Okay. So that was basically the rant on how we knew it. We were like, oh my God, where is James? James, why you not talking? Where you at, James? Where the police called? Like, what is happening right now? We wanted to get more information. James was quiet as a church mouse. Didn't say nothing at first. So then it started being a big thing on the internet. So everybody wanted to know, like, did it really happen? Because James, why you not coming out here showing what your mouth looked like, your face? Why is everybody talking about you but you? You know, so people wanted to know. So then this guy comes on and he got something to say too. That's Robert Hatcher. I guess he is the road manager. I've seen him with a few different people or whatnot. But Robert has something to say as well. So he goes in and he give his commentary. So everybody was giving their commentation about what happened, their commentary. Everybody but James, right? And they telling all this stuff, and I just kept waiting. I'm like, okay, I want to hear James. But anyway, let's hear what Robert had to say. I just want to put this all in perspective before we get to this lawsuit.
My problem is this. I was in the room. I was next to James. There it was me, James, David, Mooney, Tamar in that room. I want to address the assault. I want to address the assault. That's what I want to address right now, because that is what is at question. And what is at question is the assault. And it breaks my heart that we even have to go this route and even have to go back and forth on social media. For those that don't know, I am the tour manager for Tamar Braxton, the Love and War tour.
Don't worry, I'm gonna address all these people in the chat that seem like they pro Chrisean and asking these ridiculous questions over here. Y'all might want to go over there to Chrisean's chat with that, because I'm gonna get you right in a minute.
Troy brought her out a cake. Tamar put her hands in the cake. She had a right hand full of cake and some cake in her mouth. And Chrisean came out and was like, "Where you going, sis? Gotta go on stage."
That part.
So I'm looking like, huh? Like, what's happening? And Tamar like, the show is over. What do you mean? She said, I'm about to go on stage. And she's like, huh? You ain't been out? You haven't went out there already? Because she was supposed to go out during the twerk session. She hadn't been out. Chrisean hadn't been out. So I was like, come on, ladies, let's just take this in the dressing room. So we went in the dressing room. And in the dressing room, it was me, Tamar, and Chrisean. Tamar was trying to figure out why didn't Chrisean go out during the twerk session? And she's looking at me, and I'm like, I don't know. Like, Chrisean, I don't know why she didn't go out. So Chrisean breaks down and starts crying. And I felt bad, and the Holy Ghost in me, because I carry it everywhere with me, I began to give her a hug and everything like that, because I like Chrisean. I like her. And, and I was like, I don't want to see nobody with their feelings hurt, or I don't want nobody feeling some sort of way, because there was a big line of miscommunication that took place. So I began to try to comfort her and hug her and be like, no, don't cry because it's not that. You know what I'm saying? Nobody was trying to. I don't want you to feel no sort of way. And this was just in the dressing room. And this was me, Chrisean, and Tamar at the time. As the time went on, Chrisean was explaining that this happens to her all the time, and she felt some sort of way because she felt embarrassed. She felt embarrassed, and she felt like, that this is just like, that shouldn't happen to her because, she was just prepared to go out during the twerk session, and that time had come and she didn't go out. So Tamar is still asking, like, what happened? What happened? Why didn't she go out? And I'm like, I'm trying to figure out what happened too. So David and Mooney come in. They both do makeup. And we're all at this point talking about what happened. Tamar is saying, Mooney, what happened? Mooney was saying that Chrisean was not on the side of the stage when it was time for the twerk part. Mooney is a choreographer and he also does makeup. Mooney was saying Chrisean was not on the side of the stage. So, like, well, what happened? Well, who was there? Who can, like, what? Everybody's screaming, what happened? What happened? At this point, Chrisean is like, yes, I was on the side of the stage. I was there. And I was like, okay, and I'm trying to calm everybody down. Just let's do this a peaceful conversation because Chrisean is upset. She's very upset. And I'm like, okay, I get it. Like, okay, let's calm down. Like, everybody, let's talk this thing out or whatever. And then a few more talking. And then James comes in the room. So at this point, it's me, Chrisean, David, Mooney, Tamar, James. James comes in the room and notices that Chrisean is upset. By the mirror, Chrisean is on the right-hand side. James is right next to her. He was consoling her. And I was literally right next to James. And Tamar asking James, well, what happened? Why didn't Chrisean go out there during the twerk session? And James said, we was looking for her on the side of the stage, and she was not on the side of the stage. And Chrisean got very upset, and she was like, I was on the side of the stage. I was there. Where else would I go, man? You lying? Like, that's cap. I was on the side of the stage. Like, I was there on the side of the stage. And James said, no, you wasn't. We called for you there. Chrisean said, say I wasn't there one more time. Say I wasn't there on the side of the stage one more time. James was like, I'm telling you, we was calling you and you
He said, bop, 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 bop.
Oh, shit. Literally happened just like that. And here I am, like, this girl just hit this boy a couple of times with them big ass rings on her finger. And I'm just like, no, this is not happening. This is not happening. This is not happening. I get Chrisean to the other side of the room. At this point, James' face is leaking with blood. She going off saying, man, that's cap, da-da-da-da-da. Everybody is shocked. And I mean shocked because, mind you, I like Chrisean. I'm still at this moment trying to de-escalate everything. Like, I don't want this to go left. Like, this is crazy. This is all craziness. And I'm like, Chrisean, you gotta calm down. Everybody, you gotta calm down. Like, it's a lot of yelling. At this point, Mooney and James, get her ass out of here. Da, 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 da. I'm like, okay, everybody calm down. I got Chrisean on my right-hand side. Now she's at the back. The door is right there. I'm blocking Chrisean on here because at this point, she don't go. She like, well, what's up? Like, her defense is all the way up now. And people trying to get in the door. And I'm stopping people from coming in the door. Troy was one of the people that I stopped from coming in the door. And I'm like, okay.
So hopefully that answers the question. Think St. James was saying, like, is it two different stories? No, Troy heard it secondhand. He wasn't even there when it happened. Robert is saying that he was there. So he heard the whole story secondhand. So it's not really two different accounts. I think he gave what he knew or was told that occurred.
We got to talk this out.
And for those, let me answer this real quick because he got a few more. So those in the chat, and this is one of the reasons why I don't deal with like these young people cases, because when I did the Melly trial, I didn't know anything about Melly or any of that, but you're gonna get people that are so die hard that they don't want to believe nothing bad about their idol. Because that's what it is, it's idolization. That you can't believe they did anything wrong. I was not there. But what I will say is when all of this happened, as my subscribers know I do, I requested to get police reports, dash cam, video, whatever they had. I was not the only one because they let you know media outlets that were asking because it was under investigation, presumably on the verge of potentially charging her. They weren't releasing any of that information. The only thing that we would have known is what people like a Rob had to say, a LaTroy, a Tamar, or James himself. That's the only way we would have known is off a hearsay of what happened. I don't expect Chrisean to come out and say, oh yeah, I bust him in his mouth. And the fact that the way she acts on social media, if I had to take a guess, everybody is innocent until proven guilty. But if they said, Pam, just knowing what you see online that has to do with Chrisean, do you believe she's capable of what they're saying they is? I would have to err on the side that, in my opinion, I believe she is absolutely capable. That's just how I feel. And what are you basing it on? It's based on patterns, practices, and behaviors. This is what she does. If you watch anything on Zeus, it's not like they show her going to church every single Sunday. Now, we seen her when she gave the money to her pastor and gave her everything that was in her pocket and all of that. That was admirable. But aside from that, we have not seen a calm, rational Chrisean. So again, I can say I tried to get the information. They didn't say the information didn't exist. They said we cannot release this information to you because it is under investigation. So what that tells me is there was a police report. There probably are some videos. What happens with the police is when you go to the hospital, they'll try to get information on your diagnoses. They will get information from the hospital as to your treatment. If they think you're going to be well, all that stuff will be in there. And a lot of times they actually forward, because it helps with the prosecution, medical records, all of that stuff would go to the police department. So while it was under investigation, I am not mad at anybody that was not just putting out whatever they had. He just said it in his lawsuit. And in the lawsuit, he has the burden of proving what he's saying. So I am going to go out on a limb that any attorney that took this case has some form of evidence that James was able to provide that this actually occurred. So that's all I'm saying. So where's the evidence? Where's the video? Everybody got videos of everything, but it was under investigation. So it's not going to be released on the internet. So I hope that answers your question, because I just can't. I know a lot of people are young people, so they don't think in that manner. So I just want to let you know how this system works. They don't just put out their hand to everybody just because police reports are considered public record. If something is under investigation, they do not have to release a dang on thing because it can hinder their investigation. So that's how that works. Now, somebody mentioned the criminal charges. I didn't see a warrant. I didn't look for one either. I don't see where it would be that difficult to arrest her because she's on probation, unless she has a probation where she just has to call to check in as opposed to come visit. It's very easy when somebody is on probation for them to come into their probation officer, because what happens is they'll see in the system she's on probation. The police department will send over the warrant. And if she goes see her probation officer, she will be arrested on the spot. So I have not seen a warrant for her arrest. So I'll report on that when I actually see it. Did I see it in articles? Yes. And I saw it on a lot of the titles of different articles and videos. So Impress said, contrary to popular belief, grown people don't necessarily whip out their phones when people are fighting. They actually try to de-escalate the situation or get help. I would agree. First of all, if you're even recording, because somebody was back there recording, obviously, that came out and Tamar was pissed off. They recorded the prayer. So there was somebody that was, and they had like video. She had a videographer, because that became an issue later on, of video from the tour coming out was from the videographer who was videotaping it. And her and LaTroy, the first person we heard from on this live, they're no longer cool. So there was a big old riff about Tamar and LaTroy, and emails came out, and she did a live, and she wanted to go through her exhibits on LaTroy being wrong and all of that. So yes, there was a videographer, but I would surmise that if the police knew it was being videotaped, they asked for that videotape. If there's any video of her committing the assault, perhaps they asked for the video, or it could have been that once something happened, they decided to put their phones down and maybe de-escalate the situation, as Empress Nandi just said. It could have been that. There are a lot of coulda, shoulda, wouldas. We're just out here with what we have right now. And again, we're not going to have any concrete evidence because they're not going to put it out there because this was under investigation. But let me get on, because he had a long thing to say. As you guys know, Rob was talking. Yes, Rob was the one that, if you guys watched Iyanla Fix My Life, he was also attached to Leandria, and Iyanla was basically saying Robert was upset, because I remember him going live after the fact, telling Leandria, who is a gospel singer, that she shouldn't be around Rob. But Leandria still is. So I don't even know what that was all about or whatnot, but yeah.
Tamar walks over to Chrisean. That is like, she said, that is like my blood brother. You cannot just go hitting my blood brother in his face. What is wrong with you? What's happening? All of this is going on. Everybody's emotions are on 100. And then I got Chrisean out of the room when Bandcamp came in the room. Bandcamp came in the room, got Chrisean out of the room, and that was that. I walked out of the room and I called the police. So in the video that she just made and said, well, why wasn't the police there? Why wasn't this there? And actually, to tell the truth, there were 28 security guards in that building that day from the Novo security team. 28. I went to the head of security at Novo and I asked them, I said, I need somebody to get up here right now. Somebody has just been assaulted. They asked me questions. They said, who? I said, James. I said, can you call the police? You know what Novo told me? Novo said they cannot call the police. I had to call the police. I went and called 911. You can call 911 are public records. You can call 911. You can check the records. Right after it immediately happened, I called 911. It took the police over 2 hours to get to the Novo. I was not.
So I hope that answers your question as well for all the Chrisean fans. It took over 2 hours for the police to come. Do you think Chrisean stuck around to see what the heck the police had to say? If this is true, again, this is all allegedly, because it is innocent. She's innocent until proven guilty. But let's just put on our thinking caps. Do we really think that Chrisean would have stayed around waiting 2 hours for the police to come so she can give her side of the story? Is that what you thought happened? So there was a police report. James was already gone, probably, allegedly, I guess, to the hospital by this time.
Not leaving until the police came. I was not leaving until the police came. It took the police over 2 hours to get. It took them over 2 hours to get to the Novo. The police did come. A police report was reported.
So yeah. So that's Rob, right? So I'm gonna have to stop in the middle with, so I'm just trying to give us a timeline to how we got here. So you say, Pam, well, how we get here? Because I don't follow them like that. I was on the outside just like everybody else. And then James decides I think Tamar said something first. So Tamar, let me see. I think Tamar has something to say first, and then let me see.
Not a clout chaser.
Yeah.
I don't need that. Like, my circle is this small. You know, I don't have to sell tickets for, like, oh, I need to sell tickets. Let me do this, that, other. This show has been sold out for a month. I didn't have an opening act. I knew I didn't need an opening act because I knew my sister was coming in the middle of the show. And, when you're in different cities, you invite different people. And Chrisean was definitely someone that I invited, someone that I actually, looked at from afar as like a younger sister. She's from Baltimore. I knew that she was rowdy. I didn't judge her because of that. I felt for her on so many occasions, and I just felt.
So she said, I knew she was rowdy. I just felt for her because you're like a little sister because we're all from the same place. That's basically what she's saying. So everybody knew what Chrisean's reputation was and what she's known for. And again, a lot of people don't know. Like somebody mentioned, LaTroy did know she was a musician because he went on a rampage on Twitter. No. Honestly, I wanted to figure out what she did. Why do people care about her? I didn't know what that lady did at all. Because every time I seen, she was either tattooing the boyfriend on her face, and then he had another baby mama, and then they're fighting over this bum, and then you still getting all these tats, then you covering it up. Now you got a new one. Then you got, all the stuff that happens at Zeus and all of the fighting, and they in the car. Then she in the car with the baby mama. It was just, that's what I knew her for. So it wouldn't shock me if somebody didn't know she was a musician, because I had to look up like, well, what makes her even newsworthy? Clearly she had to have something or be known for something for her to be newsworthy, because your average Pookie and Kate off of the corner, they may act just like Chrisean and the boyfriend Blueface or whatever his name is, might act just like him, but they're not going to make news unless they are some form of a celebrity. So she's been known by a lot of, I'm going to say for Pam and probably a lot of people in my generation, for all the antics, because I kept asking, why do y'all keep posting her? Like, this isn't cute. It looked like somebody needs some help and some guidance. This isn't cute, but it's entertainment for people. It's entertainment for people. So I just wanted to see. I'm like, what song? The first song I ever heard about her was, I think she played a clip of something that may have been newer on Twitter. And that was probably 3 weeks ago or a month ago. That's the first time I ever heard her voice as a rapper. Everything I've ever heard about her has been, you fighting this person, you getting into it with this person. And that's why I wasn't interested in covering her, because I'm like, it just make you want to pray for this here generation. But anyway, the first thing she said was, as you see from Tamar, she acknowledged she knew what the girl's reputation was, and it wasn't for singing Kumbaya and Father Abraham on Sunday morning.
Like, oh, this was somebody I wanted to meet, to, possibly take under my wing, because, everybody knows that I don't have the best pass. I'm sorry, I have a filter. I washed my face. I look crazy. Okay. And in my journey of being a better person, I wanted people to, accept me for the new person that I was. And the only way that they could do that is if I was given an opportunity. And so that's really all it was. I didn't call her and be like, oh, come on and perform in my show. I already knew Tony was planning to perform here at this LA show. She had sent me her number a while ago on a DM, and I reached out to her. Like I said before, like we all have, Chrisean is like a little sister to all of us, watching her and then watching her make mistakes. We want to help. And this is what this Love and War tour has been about. I have called several girls that I didn't know Drew Sidora. I didn't know Tiffany Evans. I don't know. I didn't know any of them, really. The only person that I knew was Nydia, but I wanted this tour to be about, second chances and, giving new opportunities. And I don't know, I didn't call Chrisean to open up for me. But when she was in my dressing room, we do a twerk off portion, right? And I was like, oh, it'd be cool if the DJ played as a vibe and you came out and did a vibe like the people, Baltimore sisters. And that's really what I was thinking. Everyone else get compensated for coming on my show and opening up for me. I try to always do the right thing by people. And there's a contract. We're professional. I'm a real touring company. And that wasn't the case. I think that there was a misunderstanding. During the part of the twerk off, I am backstage changing clothes. And everybody that's come to a Tamar show know that we don't have any violence. No one has ever fought at my concerts. We laugh, we cry. People have passed out, due to, being, inebriated or, just excited at being at a concert. But this is a safe, loving, healing place. And I don't know. I have to apologize to my team if my silence have made you all feel like I have not been supportive to you. And I also want to acknowledge Chrisean. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for coming. I didn't want any of this to happen. I actually thought that we, could really be, good friends and have, I could be a big sister, to you.
So Tamar gets on and says a bunch of nothing, in my opinion. She basically acknowledges that she invited her. However, what she is saying is that, she knew she was a problem child and she wanted to take her under her wings. Now, I'm looking at a lot of the comments and it sounds like she may have been, she had a promising future because if she has the musical talent, and then they're saying that she was an athlete in college. She also competed in one of those athletic competition shows on TV. She did well, may have won. So it sounds like she had a promising future. And then maybe some Negro, aka Blueface, came in and it may have kind of thwarted some of that. And hopefully she'll find her way back. I am no way not trying to bash Chrisean, but I'm gonna call a thing a thing. I'm not gonna pacify nobody's ridiculous behavior. I'm not gonna make excuses for your ridiculous behavior. I think that you don't have friends, nor do you have a mirror. Because if you had friends, they will tell you this ain't the way to go, and things that you do now can affect you in the future. By the time you figure out, Chrisean, that what I'm doing is not worth it, yeah, I'm making money because basically they're paying her to be a fool on this network. It may look okay, but you have a whole child right now. And that child, would you want them to Google your name and then everything attached to your name is ridiculousness? And if I'm out of the media or if I'm out of the spotlight for 2 minutes, then let me go put a tattoo of somebody on my face or do something in order to get attention. I think she does need therapy, and I don't think anybody is too far gone. However, I'm going to call a thing a thing. What you're not going to do, and that's for all of the idolizers that's going to come on here and be in the comments and probably get blocked. We're not going to make excuses. If that is what you did, because again, you are innocent as of right now. If that is what you did, but it also sounds like there's a lot of witnesses. It wasn't just you and him in a room. So that's going to be a problem. We have Rob Hatcher saying that you hit him. We're going to put the little clip that James did. We'll put that up. Tamar, I don't know what this kumbaya was that she did. I'm sorry that this happened. I'm glad she came and da da da. No, if she mollywopped one of your backup singers, why is there a soft kumbaya? Then she came on talking about I'm damned if I do, I'm damned if I don't, when people were dragging her when she came with this video. Like, how do you come to this was not well thought out when she decided to respond. But again, at least these people were responding. James wasn't saying a dang on thing. He wasn't saying nothing. And then finally, I look and I seen James was live. So I was able to screen record a portion of his live, and he did not show his face. And I guess his reasoning, this was not too long after this alleged event. And the reasoning was, I guess, because he said his face was messed up, and he would later go on to show him being at the dentist's office. So that's dental records, that's hospital records, that's police reports, all of that. So what you're trying to tell me as Chrisean Rock followers, that all of this stuff is a lie. That's what you're trying to sell me with no proof of that. if you're going to defend someone, and that's in real life and especially on this platform, at least come with some receipts that you can lead me to of what you are saying. Because you just saying, where's the police report? Where's the video? That is not an argument. Because apparently there are both. And I know that because I contacted them personally because I wanted to hear the 911. I wanted to, everybody who knows me knows that typically I'm coming with evidence, or as young people call it, receipts. And so I didn't even talk about this. The videos I had, I gave it to, that I screen recorded, I gave it to other people that's what they talk about just in general. They talk about what's going on in the entertainment news reporters. I was emailing them the stuff that I had or saw. But I didn't report on it because I didn't see any information because they weren't releasing it. Thank you so much. You said, Elite said Tamar didn't want her crazy fans coming for her. Plus, Chrisean and her folks were threatening Tamar. Well, we can't talk about we from Baltimore. Like, you know, that's a tough spot. And then we worried about people coming for us. Like, that's, the truth is the truth. If James is your brother, because that's supposed to be what Rob Hatcher just said, Tamar was like, this is my brother. So James was there. Not James, Robert was there. So that means Robert would probably be a witness to this. Now, again, Troy, he was the one that came out and had the attitude of smacking every 2 seconds or whatnot. He was not there. He just heard from a third person. So it was hearsay with him. Now, if there was an aftermath, because he might have been there when the police came. He might have been there, because the police didn't come for 2 hours. So he may not have been there for the actual altercation. I think that's been established, or the alleged altercation. But he was probably there. If he is a part of the tour, he wouldn't have left. He probably was present when the police came. And that's why he was telling people to go get the 911 tapes. Go get this, go get that. So obviously it's out there. Why would somebody leave the media to go order tapes and get videos? And order the police reports through FOIA or whatever, and there's nothing to be gotten. This is used common sense. Now, this is what James said. Stacy said, we ready for them because what we not going to do is play with Pam. I got this, Stacy, the first twin. You already know I got this. I got kids probably their age. But it's like, that's why it's difficult, because at least when I do the demographics that I have that comes on my platform is mainly my age and older. So we have life experience. Some of us have educational experience. Some of us have our own kids that are adults. Some of us just have we all have certain walks of life. And so we use our analytical thinking. These young people, for some reason, you have computers thinking for you. You got now they do things on the internet where you don't have to go read a book. They read to you. You don't have to look stuff up. You Google everything. Even when I was in law school, even though by that time they had electronic research tools to look up cases, they still made us learn the old school way. We had to go to the library, find the book, find the case. Then you had to it was just this whole system on how you go through the library to get to the case. Then you have to do what's called shepherdizing it, which means you have to see if it's still good law. So then you got to go back, and it might take an hour for you to get the case that you need to go with your facts of your case by going that route, because it's considered the slow route. When it's something we're on the computer with my research tools, I put what my issue is, and then a bunch of cases come up, and you tell them what state you want it in and all of that. But they still taught us the short way because we analyze. Now they got AI for attorneys now too, where they writing briefs and stuff. So this is just a whole generation where it's so much technology thinking for you, where you don't have to think for yourself. And it's frustrating. And so I know that I'm going to get a bunch of young people when I talk about young people that just don't have analytical skills at all, because they have not been trained to think. Everything thinks for you. Everything is a microwave society. Go to the store. By the time they got 20, you can get a whole meal in a bag and throw it in a microwave. When I was younger, you didn't have a meal in a bag. You had to boil your rice, you had to flour your chicken, you had to fry it in the grease, you had to clean and cut up your vegetables, and you had to steam it and all of that. That's not what they have. Everything is microwave. Technology thinks for them. And so because of that, I expect some of the comments that I get. Like I expect it. It frustrates me and it irritates the out of me. That's why I don't really go through these cases like that. But that's why we get what we get. You want to believe somebody so bad, and you have to be careful. And I hope this is a lesson to the young people that are watching. You have to be careful just to take someone's word for anything. Just because you care about someone so much or you like someone so much that you can't see what's in front of your face. That's very dangerous. That is very dangerous. I'm not saying turn on her. I'm not saying don't follow her. I'm not saying don't support her. I think she needs help. I think she needs surrounding. But you know why a lot of people don't get help? Because they always got people telling them they don't need it. And that's why I say everyone needs a friend and a mirror. A friend to say, hey, what you did, that's not cool. Maybe you need to take a break from social media. Here's the name of a therapist. She's really good because I go see her. She's a Black woman and she's young and she's into hip hop or whatever you got to do to sell it. But here's the number. In fact, I'll pay for the first 2 sessions to let you know, hey, I go see her. Nothing's wrong with therapy. But no, you're going to get people that's just like, he didn't show his face. He didn't show his bruises. He didn't do this. It ain't happened because you don't want to believe it. And that's what it is in this generation. But anyway, I go on and on about that. But let me put on what James had to say when he finally came on.
Minister Danny, girl, pray for me because you already know my mental how I be ready to just people been calling me. I don't know who this is. Calling me. Call me.
That part. That is the truth.
We can do it. Something.
You know what was irritating me about this live? I'm gonna be honest. He hadn't talked, and look how many people was on there. It's over 2,000 people on there. He does not get these type of people that come into his live. So you already know the only reason why, and this is no shade, you had over 2,000 people in this chat is because everybody wanted to know what happened. And that's not what James did. He went on ahead and started singing and lally-gagging and all type of stuff. You have over 2,000 people in this chat, and it got higher than that. That's just the part I was on until I realized he wasn't about to say much. Or he jumped off or something, and he was supposed to come back on, and I never came back on. But yeah, everybody was on here trying to see, well, what's your side? We hear everybody else, and we ain't seen you at all. So is this true or not true? By this time, it was up in the air because we had no clue if this really happened because James hadn't said anything.
I have no clue. I love you, daughter. Hi, daughter. Let me tell y'all.
Look at this. All this dead time. I said, James, don't do me like this.
But let me tell y'all, I love y'all, and I thank y'all for supporting me, and I just thank y'all for having my back. And y'all already know what type of person I am, and all that good stuff. And yeah. I would definitely.
Look, then got the nerve to be buffering. I was like, it's not that long, guys, though. I don't think that video was that.
Troy. I love y'all. Let me tell y'all, I do love y'all. I love y'all for real. Like, for real. In real life. Troy, I added you. Yeah. Oh, now it's 3,000 people. Bye, bitch.
See, 3,000
Because
people.
I got to cancel work today. I had work today. I had 2 jobs. I had to sing today and I had to cater. And I had to cancel both of them, okay? Let me tell y'all. Oh, my auntie calling. And cash at me because I missed my job today. So somebody owe me. Y'all don't. But let me put my cash out. Child, I'm an independent contractor. I need cash apps. I missed out on work today. Cash app is pinned. Sorry. Hello?
Hello? Yeah.
What happened?
You ain't saying nothing, James. That's what happened.
I still got jokes. Let me tell you what ain't nobody gonna do. Ain't nobody gonna take my joy. Ain't nobody gonna take my praise. Ain't nobody gonna take my worship. I just did it, Troy. Ain't nobody gonna take my worship. And let me tell you the crazy thing in this whole situation. Y'all should see my fucking face. And I still got joy.
That was the first indication that we got that something actually occurred. You should see my face and I still got joy. Okay, that's enough, James. That's only about 2 minutes left. But he gets on there and he was sounds like he was trying to get LaTroy to come up or something, and he was having some problems. And then he was like, all right, well, I'm gonna start the lab all over again with LaTroy. And I don't think he ever came back. So he was definitely just keeping us, trying to keep it going. So honestly, I wasn't even sure. I was like, okay, he's saying he missed work, so he was begging for cash out. So we had to do Blues Clues with him. He said he missed work. He had to do the cash apps or whatever. And so he was asking for that. And he said, if y'all could see my face, then blah, 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 blah. But then we had Chrisean came on and she making it like it was all a lie. Everything was made up. She had her co-signers basically say that it wasn't the truth and that everybody was clout chasing. Let's see.
From here on out, I'm not nobody. Y'all trying to use us. We are numbers. That shit is over with. Huh? Get on the road, get this fucking money, drop. Force y'all to, push my shit to #1. Like, real serious. They wanted the clout. They got me fucked up. They try, like, here's the thing. Why try to lie? My thing is, wait. Why try to lie and say nobody told her that she was about to perform? Why did she have the mic? Why did they have me give the DJ her music? Like, make it make sense. Why even tell her to pull up and get on stage and all that? It's not clout chasing, and she wasn't supposed to perform. What was it? This is evil nowadays, and they so old and washed up. They don't know what to do. That's the last resort. So
she said everybody was clout chasing. Everybody, meaning Tamar, were clout chasing, and they're evil and they're washed up. See, this is what I'm talking about. You live in delusion. And I'm not going to allow you to stay in your delusion like your followers do that don't care about you or your well-being. But let's go on.
Good luck with that, though. You feel me? I'm not here to fuck people. Right. She left her whole son at home. I left my son at home. She didn't perform, so yeah, she was mad. What the fuck? Yeah,
she said, I left my whole son at home, as if that was just like, oh my gosh, she left her son at home. Like she's just at home being a stay-at-home mom the whole time, and she had to like leave her son to do this. This is the same person that I saw on one of these social media platforms that had her son out of the house almost like in the store. Wasn't it like she was in Walmart and people were talking about the head not being supported or wherever she was at, and your son was fresh out the womb. So I'm not even understanding. She left her son. You got all these enablers around you. Like she left her son for this, and she's the victim.
Son to go watch you perform. The bitch and then they try to lie about the embarrassment and say I hit somebody. So did I hit somebody or get embarrassed? I didn't. Listen, I embarrassed. It would have been a video. There would have definitely been a video. And if that was the case.
So this is the whole, she said they lied and said she hit somebody. First they said she was just embarrassed. Now they saying she hit somebody. So she's like, did I hit somebody or was I embarrassed? And then whoever this person is was like, but if she hit somebody, it would be a video. So that's where the talking points come in the chat. And that's exactly why I made sure I had all these videos on cue, because I know what I'm dealing with when it comes to dealing with some of these younger entertainers.
They would have had a police report at the Novo. They would have had a police report. I didn't even somewhere.
You hear that? They would have had a police report. So I'm gonna answer your question again. Why it wasn't one? It was a police report. They just weren't allowing it to be released because they were investigating as to whether you were gonna end up in handcuffs. If you were gonna end up in no Chanel bracelets, that's why it wasn't a police report. You were assuming that. So now you got all these people with these talking points as if there was no police report, there was no video. We don't know what they have because it's under investigation. That's the point.
She got the fucking police report. I'm just saying, like, the bitch got a police report for her line. They lying and shit don't got no police report. No, haven't shown no face card. Like, then why you take a video picture of your face? Why you lying? People are sick. People are sick. We're on to the next thing. We are like out of here. We're fucking out of here. And anybody don't want to fucking go up the right way, fuck y'all. Straight up.
You hear her? This is who people idolize. This is what our young people are looking at, who basically has no problem. They're the ones keeping you relevant, but you're saying F them. So you don't want nobody around you that's gonna hold you to your stuff. That's just what it is. Well, anyways, apparently James Wright, since you turned around and you said there's no police report, there's nothing, I didn't hit nobody, and you play, and she was actually rather calm. She had a little hood on and everything when she was saying this. So I was looking like she didn't seem like she was being honest when she was talking, in my opinion. But James Wright Chanel has filed a lawsuit over there in LA. So all the evidence is going to come out that she feels like she needs. So as you see, James Wright versus Chrisean Rock. And they are doing assault, battery, and intentional infliction of emotional distress. So let's go with the first cause of action. This case arises from injuries suffered by plaintiff after he was struck several times in the face by defendant while they were both at a concert event working in different capacities. On or about November 11, 2023, at approximately 12:30 a.m., plaintiff and defendant were in one of the dressing rooms at the Novo, located at 800 West Olympic Boulevard in Los Angeles, California, when they became engaged in a conversation. During the short conversation, defendant commented to plaintiff how nice he was and how different he was from everyone else at the event who had been mean to her. So she's commented to James and said, you really are a nice person, but everyone else is being so mean to me here. Defendant was crying and visibly upset because she stated everyone was lying about her not being where she was supposed to be for her part of the performance. Plaintiff believes and based thereon alleges that defendant was misinformed about her role that evening, as she was only supposed to participate in the ending of the concert performance called the twerk portion. Plaintiff believes and based thereon alleges that defendant thought she was supposed to have a larger performance role individually as a rap artist. Plaintiff tried to console defendant and confirmed to defendant that she was not in the designated areas everyone else said because he would have seen her. So James Wright said, listen, you weren't where you were supposed to be because I would have saw you because I was there. Defendant became upset with plaintiff and stated that if he again said she was not where she was supposed to be, she was going to hit him. Plaintiff politely, quote, I promise you, you were not on the side of the stage, end quote. Defendant immediately used the hand she was wearing large champion style rings, struck plaintiff several times in the face. Following the assault, while defendant was being removed from the dressing room and continued to shout foul, obscene, and insulting language towards plaintiff, such as, quote, faggot, nick, and, quote, I'll hit that mother effer again. So she was removed from the dressing room. So I'm going to assume that she didn't stay there for the police 2 hours later. A number of other people were in the dressing room who witnessed the assault against plaintiff. Defendant intended to cause and did cause plaintiff to suffer apprehension of an immediate harmful contact. Battery as against defendant Chrisean Malone. Plaintiff represents and realleges by reference each and every allegation contained herein. The essential elements of cause of action for battery are 1, defendant touched plaintiff or caused plaintiff to be touched with the intent to harm or offend plaintiff. The second element is plaintiff did not consent to the touching. And the third element that he would have to prove is that plaintiff was harmed or offended by defendant's conduct. And fourth, a reasonable person in plaintiff's position would have been offended by the touching. Plaintiff alleges pursuant to the above acts by defendant that defendant did commit a battery upon his person by striking him in the face several times. Plaintiff did not consent to defendant's actions as herein alleged. Due to defendant's offensive and deliberate act of striking plaintiff, plaintiff suffered 2 broken teeth. This is what he's saying he suffered. Multiple lacerations and contusions to his nose, as well as emotional distress, according to proof at the time of trial. Plaintiff was seen at California Hospital on an emergency basis following the incident, as well as a dental specialist and plastic surgeon to address the injuries he suffered as a result of the incident. That means we have receipts. As a direct and proximate result of the action of defendant as alleged herein, plaintiff has suffered extreme and severe emotional distress in that he is afraid for his safety and has limited his social and career gatherings, as well as other damages in an amount not yet ascertained, but which exceed the jurisdictional minimum at this court and will be proven at trial. Defendant did the action alleged herein with malice and with the intent to oppress plaintiff and cause him to suffer injury, and that defendant harbored ill will toward plaintiff. Plaintiff is thus entitled to exemplary and punitive damages in the amount according to proof at trial. As a direct and proximate result of defendant's conduct, plaintiff suffered numerous physical injuries, including facial lacerations and a chipped tooth. Plaintiff has also suffered extreme mental anguish and severe emotional distress, as well as physical pain and suffering. As a direct and proximate result of defendant's conduct, plaintiff was required to obtain medical services and treatment in an amount according to proof at trial and will in the future be compelled to incur additional obligations for medical treatment in an amount according to proof at trial. As further direct and proximate result of defendant's conduct, plaintiff was unable to work for a period of 3 weeks and accordingly lost wages in an amount according to proof at trial. Third cause of action is IIED, or intentional infliction of emotional distress. And he says, as a direct and proximate result of the actions of defendant as alleged herein, plaintiff has suffered extreme emotional distress, including but not limited to severe humiliation, mental anguish, and emotional and physical distress. I said distress like my dad. He's from Arkansas. I said distress. Them T's, the C's over there in the South. including but not limited to severe humiliation, mental anguish, and emotional and physical distress, and has been injured in mind and body in amount not as yet ascertained, but will be proven at the time of trial. Defendant knew that her aforementioned conduct would cause plaintiff to suffer extreme emotional distress, yet she proceeded with said conduct with full knowledge and forethought of what the consequences of said their action would be, and acted with reckless disregard for the probability that plaintiff would suffer extreme emotional distress. Defendant's conduct was intended to and did in fact cause plaintiff to suffer extreme emotional distress. Further, it is a very substantial factor in causing the severe emotional distress suffered and still being currently suffered by plaintiff. Said conduct is willful, malicious, oppressive, despicable, and with conscious disregard of plaintiff's rights, and with the intent to vex, annoy, harass, and injure plaintiff. Therefore, plaintiff is entitled to recover exemplary and punitive damages in an amount according to proof at the time of trial. Wherefore, plaintiff prays for judgment against defendants and each of them as follows. On the first cause of action, James said he wants general damages in an amount according to proof at trial. He wants medical and related expenses in an amount according to proof at trial. Past and future lost earnings in an amount according to proof at trial. Impairment of earning capacity in an amount according to proof at trial. Punitive and exemplary damages in amount according to proof at trial for cost of the suit incurred herein and for such other and further relief as the court may deem just and proper. It is probably the same thing. Yes. He is asking for the exact same thing as it pertains to the second cause of action. He is also asking the same thing as it pertains to the third cause of action. And then he has asked for a jury trial. And this is what you call a verified complaint. That means that he declares, which is under the penalty of perjury, that I have read the foregoing verified complaint for assault, battery, and intentional infliction of emotional distress, and know the contents thereof. I certify that the same is true of my own knowledge, except as those matters which are therein stated upon my information and belief. And as to those matters, I believe them to be true. I declare under the penalty of perjury, under the laws of the state of California, that the foregoing is a true and correct. So for all the people trying to say there are no medical records, there are no police records, there are none of that. This man has declared under the penalties of perjury, which is a crime, that all of this stuff happened and that he went to a hospital. He has medical bills. He has his dental bills. He's also seen a plastic surgeon. He's lost 3 weeks of work, as he mentioned in that little snippet of a live that I showed. And so that's the information that we have. So if you have any information aside from Chrisean coming on and saying, I ain't really hit him, it would be on video. If that's all the defense that all of the Chrisean followers have, you guys are in trouble. That's all I have to say. Let's see what some of your comments are. The Knight said, I really don't think she has the money. I would file criminally too. Well, he doesn't have any, it's whether, so how the criminal part works, civil is different. You hire an attorney, they look at your evidence, or they do your intake and they decide whether they're going to take your case or not. From a criminal standpoint, James really doesn't have, of course, he will be a part of it because he's a witness, but it's up to the prosecutor if they're going to prosecute. So the police gather the evidence, they present the evidence to the DA, and then they decide whether they're going to issue a warrant for their arrest or whether they're going to prosecute, or they can choose to decline prosecution. So that is up to them. That's why you have some people, especially in domestic violence cases, how a lot of times they go back to their abusers, but the state will take it up anyway because they have the information, and they'll take it up anyway. And they will subpoena you, even though you don't want to testify, to try to come and testify. So that's how that works. TX Toy said, I heard she makes a lot of money. She makes decent money over there on Zeus for sure. I don't know what she does in her musical career, but I think on Zeus. She about living in a $3 million house. Well, sounds like she may have it. I know she makes decent money per episode on Zeus. It's probably one of the highest rating shows over there. She says she made $1 million in a week on Snapchat. Okay, she keep on bragging because she gonna be. Looks like James might be a recipient of some of her fruits of her labor. That's what it looks like. So of course she has to. The next step is, because this was just filed on February 6th. So the next step would be the James would have to get a processor server to serve her the lawsuit. And it's actually easier to serve a lot of people that are high profile because they're going to be somewhere at some point, and you just get you a process server in that state. She'll be served, and then she will have a certain amount of time to answer. I believe in California, if you're personally served, you have 30 days. And she may do like a general denial or something, or give her affirmative defenses, try to whatever defenses she may have. And that's how this civil thing goes. There is also a lawsuit, speaking of assault, that was going on with Cardi B. I have that lawsuit as well. She was supposed to start trial this month, but she's not starting it. It was postponed to April. So I may end up doing that on this channel as well. But with the Cardi B was accused. This case has been going on at least maybe a year and a half. Nobody really talks about it too much, but it is also in California as well, where Cardi B is accused of assaulting a security guard. And she got sued, and similarly, similar fashion. And she actually has Sean Holly as her attorney. For those that don't know who Sean Holly is, she was the one that was representing Tory Lanez, and has represented him in his prior issues that he's had. And she not being able to, because it was either a conflict of the date when it went to trial or something. So then that's how he ended up just having Magdesian as his attorney. And we all know how that turned out. But yeah, that's who Cardi B has as her attorney for that assault case. So yeah. You said, what's going on with Danny Lay? I don't know who that is, child. Sorry. I don't even know who that is. Does California have punitive damage cap? Nope. Punitive damages is we're going to make an example out of you and punish you. We don't have punitive damages in my state on the state end, but you can get it federally if you go to the federal court. But yep, California is one of those that will punish you for your actions. So that has nothing to do. Oftentimes you have to prove your damages. So if I say I incur medical bills, I'm going to have to submit medical bills to show I spent this much on this day, this much, this, and I need you to give me all my money back. He said he missed 3 weeks of work. He's probably self-employed. He'll have to show check stubs or 1099s, whatever, to show how much he would have lost within that time. He also add future. So if he's saying future, maybe he doesn't even want to be in, and he doesn't feel comfortable doing backup. So now, because I feel I may be attacked, so I'm going to minimize how often I do backup. That's what I would say anyway. So therefore, you're gonna have to pay for the fact that I only want to work part-time because you had me in fear that I might get busted in my mouth and get a chip too. You know. So that is that. So those are damages that you can actually measure. When it comes to punitive, the whole point is we're going to tack on an extra million for good measure, because we want to make sure you don't do nothing like this again. And it deters other people to say, well, dang, she had to pay $1 million for busting him in his mouth like that. Maybe I should keep my hands to myself. That's what punitive damages are, is for punishment purposes. Hey, Cherie. She said, hi, y'all. Okay. Do we know if DJ Envy turned the table? I believe he did. I don't know if it was sufficient, but he turned something over. He did turn over some paperwork. France. I see a lot of names I haven't seen before. I don't know if you guys are new, but welcome if you are. You said she's no longer on Zeus and she got evicted. Oh, okay. So you said the $3 million house ain't a go? Is that what you're saying, Fran? Did you just say $3 is not a go? The $3 million house. And you said she's no longer on Zeus. Well, dang, it's looking pretty rough. Okay, so you're saying she might end up uncollectible the way things are going. High Vibe said, I feel old, no idea who these people are, but it's interesting. If it wasn't for this platform, I know my demographic just is not like I have kids her age, literally, you know? So I know the demographic is different. So that's why I said on this page, it might not be people that's even interested in talking about her. So I say, we talk about any old thing over here. You guys give me a name and we'll try to find the case or whatever documents. The only thing is, like I said, when you deal with these younger people, they have almost cult followings. So they'll be in your chat. You see how they disappear real quick when you get them together? They'll be like in your chat saying all type of just reckless stuff with no authority, not making sense. They don't care. It's the generation we're in. And I don't have a high tolerance for it. And I know that I don't. The mommy might come out and I'm like, where are your parents at? Can I call your parents? Because I just want them to know how ignorant you're sounding right now. I don't think they'll be too pleased at how ignorant you're sounding, TX Toy said, right, my oldest is about to be 20, but I follow James since Patty Vibes. James is around, that age, but Chrisean is not. That's why I thought it was very interesting, if I were to be honest, that Tamar would even invite her to come. Like, that's not your audience. Just because you're from the same spot and you knew Tony Braxton was going to be there, you didn't need anybody else. But you wanted her to come for the twerking session because that's what young people do. But she thinks she's up here. She's like getting high ratings. She has millions of followers. So she's not just going to show up to do what you would have someone in the audience do. She's going to show up because she feels like she is on this certain level. And so common sense should have told her that. Now they're saying, like James said, upon information and belief, she was misinformed of what she was there for. She thought she was supposed to perform. What was she performing at a Tamar concert? That's like R&B. That's like us having her come to a 90s event with Silk and H-Town and Jodeci or something. Like, why would she be there? That's like, I'm gonna have Chrisean come on stage for that. Like, I don't think it was a wise choice to invite her, but hey, who am I? Like I said, Tamar has, in my opinion, she'll say she's the victim a lot, but she's in the media for a lot of unfavorable things too, and brat-like behavior and all of that. So perhaps she saw something, and she did see something in Chrisean. I don't know how she felt she was going to lead her in the right direction when she's on in media stuff all the time because of her own behavior. So I thought that was interesting. I thought I'll take her under my wings. That's just an age thing. She's a lot younger than you, but age does not equate to maturity. Ty said, have you seen clips of her during the show being awkward and inebriated? No, I only know that she's on Zeus. I don't have Zeus, but I only know that because of what people report. So a lot of my information is hearsay. Put that disclaimer out there because I haven't looked at it myself. Distracted by those humans say yes, they are her. They are her online aunties and make every excuse for her. Help her. She's still young. Help her. But this isn't the way to go. To go amass felonies on your record. You're gonna have to stay in the industry because you're not gonna be able to go anywhere else. That can affect financial aid. That can affect a whole lot of stuff. It's not cute. And you do have a kid. At this point, I'm just like, hey, drop the baby off. Let me go ahead and watch the baby. Like, I mean, I've seen different clips of her with the baby and all of that, and I'm just like, and people keep equating, equating that to she's young. Absolutely. We all were young parents at one point. We all had to learn how to be a parent. They don't come out with the manual. Every kid is different. What you went through with one kid, you don't go through with the other kid. You get some mannerable kids. You get some that want to test your gangster all the time. I had one. Like, so it is different or whatever. So I'm not saying she should know everything, but you should definitely be, hey, I keep the baby. You don't got to take the baby over. Man, if I was in her family, I'd be over there almost every day. Like, girl, you want to go ahead and go on tour? Go ahead and go on tour. I'll take that baby. On Sunday morning, somebody always had a grandma, even if your parents weren't into church. On my block, there was a grandma pulling up on Sunday, taking their little grandkid to church just so that they can have the exposure of church. You got to have people like that in your circle. But the problem is when you become the person in your family that makes the money, you don't want to challenge them because you don't want your purse to dry out. And the sad part is she probably can't even tell who is for her for real and who is using her. Because even for somebody to get on and say, there's no video, that ain't happened. If you weren't there, why are you even saying what happened and what didn't happen? If you weren't actually in the vicinity and know whether it happened, there would be a police report. Well, James just said under the penalties of perjury, he just said it happened, man. So we're going to wait and see how you respond. Empress said, I don't allow her antics nor the imbecile blue face, but from things I've seen online, it looks like she is being groomed to be an industry passer. Oh, no, I hope not. KB said Tamar invited her for just what she got. She just got more than she bargained for. Yeah, and she said people are doing it for clout. Like I think in a way, and I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt, especially as being a young person. She probably did feel, she knows she's known for her antics. She's known for being the butt of the joke. And I think she felt Tamar didn't handle her in a way like she was there as a legit artist. So I can totally see her frustration. That doesn't mean you gotta mollywop somebody, but I can see her side as well. I'm always gonna be fair. She probably did feel like she wasn't being taken seriously for her actual profession and that she was only there to be humiliated. You come, we're not really putting you on stage. We're not really doing that. We're gonna have you come on here for a twerk section, like we're not coming up here we don't want you here for your talent. But I don't even understand why she would even accept that if you're in a whole different generation than what would be there. Because I can't imagine being in the audience going to see Tamar, going to see Tony. He's even man enough for me. And then all of a sudden she come out talking about I'm sure she's saying some old graphic stuff because that's just what all of today's rappers do, female and male. And you come out after that. I would be looking like, Tamar, can I get a refund? Can I get a refund? So she probably did feel that way. I definitely will not minimize her feelings. She has the right to feel how she feels. And I never want to minimize that. And I would respect her following to say that. Well, she legitimately felt this way. She may not know how to articulate it well because she's young and she may not know how to communicate yet. So I would give that to her. But that's why you have people in your following that tell you, I'm not saying you're all the way wrong. You have the right to feel the way you feel because of A, B, C, D, and E. But this will land you in jail. Do you want to go to jail and your son be raised by somebody else? Do you want to go to jail and your whole career is gone because of your actions? Because this time, now what if you would have hit James, assuming this happened, and James said this under oath, but let's just assume that you would have hit him in just the right spot, in the temple or something, and you would have unalived him. It is by the grace of God that he has a chipped tooth with what looks like, what her rings equate to is brass knuckles, is what it equates to. What if it would have turned out way different than what it was? What if he was a fragile person and he suffered health issues? He suffered health issues, and so a blow like that will take him up out of here. Then you'll be sitting up here young, crying because now you're facing a whole different type of case that you'll be in jail for the rest of your life. Those are the conversations people need to have with her. So that's it. CA 1983 said Tamar is a little ratchet. I'm not completely surprised at her inviting her. She has a segment for twerking. All right, my stomach getting louder and louder, and I know you guys probably hear it at this point. So I'm gonna get off of here because I was here with you guys for lunchtime. I hope you guys enjoyed the live. Welcome if you're coming on the replay. And we just broke down. If you're just coming in, we just broke down how we got to the lawsuit for James Wright Chanel. Again, make sure you guys hit that like button so that we can get into this algorithm.
And another thing you notice, the first thing they say, make sure you guys hit that like and the subscribe button. That's what it's all about. After they get them dogging you out, before they dog you out, that's the first thing they say. If you like this video, make sure you hit.
You have 1 minute remaining.
So for those of you guys that are new and probably don't know what this like, share, and subscribe button is, I also cover Ernest Williams, who is the estranged husband of Shirley Strawberry. And Ernest Williams has been in jail for a while. And this is his best friend, Dre. And he was basically clowning all of us YouTubers and saying we always talk about like, share, and subscribe. So when he said it in a video call, it was hilarious to me. And then I made that a part of my efforts to get you guys to like, share, and subscribe. So I hope you guys enjoyed the live. I'll holler at you. I'll probably be live tonight on the other channel, Lord willing. I always say that, then don't come. So I hate saying that, but that is my intent. But I hope if I don't see you guys have a great rest of your day. If I do see you, then I'll see you tonight. But I'll talk to you guys later.